Welcome back to another anime review. We are reviewing an anime called Lady of the Land. Now, this anime is really interesting and really complex. No, not really complex. It's just I like to say random stuff for no fucking reason when I do these reviews, but whatever. So this anime is technically an anime where a character gets sucked into a video game like Long Horizon and all that type of stuff. However, the character is by herself. However, she does have three adopted characters in the game itself, and they do remember her, so that's a good thing. So 200 years have passed in the game, and the only reason why she got sucked into the game, in my knowledge, is the fact that she was on life support in the real world at a hospital, and she's been playing the game nonstop. The thing is, and this is the main gist of things. When the power went out at the hospital, she technically died. So then her mind gets transferred into her character. When she goes to the tower, she decides to turn them on with mana, and that's how they do things. She also finds four players that actually want to be helpful. A guy that looks like a dragon that's a knight, his best friend guildmate, and they're also best friends. She helps them take out an event monster that only appeared because of a doctor thing, but whatever. And the other two characters, she finds out that she helps them out with a zombie quest, which a skeleton quest pretty much. And the skeleton quest has a small girl that she adopts at some point. It's an NPC, so to speak. It's not It's not one of the players. There's only five players. There's five players that she runs into. The four characters that she becomes friends with on the friend request, and the character that she wants to kill because he's a 5-year-old, and the fact that he is a demon, and the fact that he is a joke. What happens to the demon kid? Kid's a kid, but the thing is the fact that he gets put into a cell, and they tie him up with like Hannibal Lecter style. It's like fucking ridiculous, but that's beside the point. So she tries to open up the gates because she's the only character that's still alive, and that's where she comes into play. That's her only goal in life. But then she wants to settle down into a small village that she came into the small village in the first place. Like she gets dropped into a village. 200 years have passed, and then she tries to help the village out, and then she moves on, and at the end she moves in with the characters. However, she does find the mermaid. The mermaid starts living there, and the mermaid also does the laundry for the people, and she gets money for it, which is fucking dope as fuck. And she also can sing. She also adopts another kid. She adopts a kid at the very end of the anime, at the end of the first season, because this anime is recently new, so it's gonna be like another season, maybe, perhaps, depending on how good it got. And that's pretty much just it. She's an OP elf. She is really OP. She could take out monsters by herself. But the funny thing is the fact that she has three adopted children that she adopted in the game, and they do appear in this anime more times than not. She adopted a son who is the prince, and I think the king of the land that he's in. She has a daughter who is married, and she's obsessive towards her mother, and a guy that looks like a goblin, which is kind of fucking funny. And he's the only one that the main character treats nicely. She also has a granddaughter and a grandson who are twins. The funny thing is the fact that all three siblings are scared as hell of our main character because she has a really bad anger issue. Because there's this one episode where she meets her granddaughter, and she goes flipping the switch by like throwing a big giant snowball at him, which is fucking hilarious. I didn't expect that to happen. I thought it was fucking funny. This anime is basically comedy. Most of these animes that when they go into another world, it's basically off of comedy. That's what's mostly trending right now in Japan, I think, because there's a lot of animes that are doing that now. They go into another world and they're OP as fuck. Like there's only a few animes that don't do that. But to be frankly honest with you, this anime is really fun and it's also really good. But I'm giving this a 6 out of 10 just because, and this is the main problem I had with it, is the fact that if I didn't watch any of the animes before this anime, because this anime I watched before the gold thing and stuff like that, because I was on the Ben Watch High. But the problem with it is the fact that I have watched animes where they get sucked into a video game or get to another world, like another world with a smartphone, the bear, the one that where the character wears a bear costume, a bear outfit to be as strong as fuck. Long Horizon. I have not finished it yet, but that's another anime that does that. You also have Farm Life of Another World. You also have things. The more that I watch these animes, the more that I feel like they're more of the same. It's just that it's a different character and a different concept of the game itself. Which is all right by my standard, but these another world animes, I just got tired of them, and the fact that when this anime came into my viewing point, I thought it was great. I would have given it an 8, but the problem is though is the fact that I've already watched 3 of them before this anime came into my sights, and that's the main problem I have with it. So if I watched it before the other animes that a character gets stuck into another world, I would probably give this an 8, but I'm gonna give this one a 6 just because of the fact that I got fatigued from watching the same concept of an anime. And don't get me wrong, it's funny as hell. The anime is awesome and it's funny, and I hope it gets a second season because I would love to watch it, and I hope I can watch it in different anime. Well, then again, that's beside the point. But the main gist of this anime is the fact that the more that I watch an anime from another world, the more that I appreciate a restaurant from another world, because that anime concept is completely different from most of the animes that are from another world where the characters OP as fuck. It makes me appreciate that anime more, Restaurant from Another World, because of the fact that its concept is completely different from every other animes from another world, where it's the same concept and you get sucked into a video game and stuff like that. But I need a break from these another world animes. Like, for example, there's only 2 animes that I'm watching from another world, and that's the second season of the Bear anime and the smartphone anime. But this anime, I hope it gets a second season because it's comedy gold. Because of the fact that the main character bounces off each character's timidness and also scariness very well, and that's what I like about it. And the only characters that don't bounce off with her right is probably the guy with the guy that looks, because there's a character in the game that's a player, but he's a boy, but he's in a girl's avatar, so he's a girl technically, and I don't think that he or she bounces off her wordplay that much, because she always has the word dear at the end of everything, and I think that slows down the pace of the conversation that's going between the other 2 characters, and I think that's, well, the other 3 characters, because when she gets introduced, she's also teamed up with a guy that looks like a fucking dinosaur, to be honest with you. But that's beside the point. But I'm giving this anime a 6 out of 10. It's really good, and I hope it gets a second season. So I hope you guys stay positive. I hope you guys have a nice positive day.